Good morning, Seattle Unity. Welcome to everyone in the house and welcome to everyone online. We are so glad that you are here. Please stand as you're able and join us in singing.
1, 2, this is the day. This is the day, brand new. This is a brand new day my Lord has made, and I call it good. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Let's sing it again. This is the day. Harmonies if you like. This is the day. This is the day, the brand new. This is a brand new day my Lord has made, and I call it good. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Very good. All right, so this is one of those swap out songs where you say this is the, and then you can swap out the word day for all sorts of new things. It's very good for your brain to do that. It wakes you up and takes you out of like automatic and makes you personalize things. So it works like this. Annette, what would be a swap out for this is the, oh, not Annette. I don't want to start with you. She knew that, and her eyes told me so eventually when I looked at them for real. Terry!
Yes, Erin.
Yay! What's the swap out we're going to do?
We're going to do the change.
This is the change. All right, so think of a change in your life, personalize that, imagine it, especially if it gives you a little constriction in your throat. That means it's a really good one. That's a perfect one. 1, 2, this is the change. Yeah. This is the change, the brand new. This is the brand new change my Lord has made, and I call it good. Yes. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. All right, Joe Allen, what's yours?
Word.
This is the word. Ooh, because you're going to get a new word. It's Whitestone. 1, 2. This is the word. This is the word. This is the brand new word my Lord has made, and I call it good. Yeah. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. All right, Tim, give me one.
Year.
This is the year, the whole year.
We need the whole.
You know, it's a brand new year
Yeah,
all year.
I want all of it.
1, 2. This is the year. Yes.
This is the year.
This is the year. This is the brand new year my Lord has made, and I call it good 'cause it's good. I call it good 'cause if the Lord has made it, I call it good, and so it is. Let's take a break and pray on that.
And so we take a moment to turn our attention within as we know the truth of our opening statement. So let's affirm it together. There is but one presence and one power in my life and in the universe. God the good, omnipotence.
All right, so this is when I ask Annette, and she's going to give us one that we can do from this quiet place, from a deeper place. Annette, what should we say?
This is the breath.
All right. 1, 2. This is the breath. This is the breath. This is a brand new breath my Lord has made, and I call it good. Yes. I call it good. 'Cause if the Lord hasn't made it, I call it good, and so it is. Nice, I love it. All right. Give me one from out here. Somebody suggest one. This is the what? She wanted peace. Peace. They want peace, they want time. We're going to do peace and then time. 1, 2, peace. This is the peace. This is the peace. This is a brand new peace my Lord has made, and I call it good 'cause it's good. Yes, it's good now. I call it good. Very good peace. 'Cause if the Lord hasn't made it, I call it good, and so it is. Straight into this so it is. Very good. Please be seated.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to this Two for Sunday. Two for Sunday? You're getting a white stone ceremony and an installation in one Sunday. Are you excited? Great. My name is Eric, and I am your platform assistant today. And we're grateful that we see wonderful smiling faces in the room, as well as we have people joining us online. And we want to say to the people online, please take a moment to put down in the comment section where you're streaming in from. As well, if you happen to have any prayer requests, let's put them in that down in the comment section as well, so we can pray with you on that. So this church has a very strong mission, and I'm wondering if we can all together say this and make it, contemplate the words as you say it, so that we bring the power of the words into manifestation. So behind me on the screen is our mission statement. So together, we are a welcoming spiritual community, thriving and extending beyond the heart of Seattle, celebrating, inspiring, and deepening our individual and collective spiritual journeys. So about 40 years ago, I walked into a church for the first time. And I know that there are people, and it took some courage for me to do that. You know, whenever you go to a church for the first time, sometimes it just takes courage and brave to do, you have to be brave to do that. So I'm going to ask if there's anybody here for the first time, and if you feel brave enough, please raise your hand so that we can recognize you with a packet of information from our ushers. Thank you for being here. We bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ in you. Thank you for being here. So we have a few things going on in the church, and you can get any of this information. You can see some of this information online if you want, but I'm going to go through some of the highlights. But before I do that, I wonder if there's anybody from the garden party in the room, anybody who participates in the garden party. If you just raise your hand if you're in the garden party. All right, we want to show you some love. These people come here on the first Saturday of every month, and they go out and they do the grounds for us, and they do the labyrinth, and they maintain it to make it look as beautiful as it is. So one more time, let's just give them a round of applause. Okay, some other things that are going on in the community. Next Saturday at 6 p.m. will be our first 2006 open mic. Right? If you have a song you want to sing, a reading you want to do, a 10-minute comedy routine you want to try out, 5 minutes, sorry, I'm now correcting that. Yeah, I tell you what, you could do it twice, once here and then another 5 minutes later. No one will care, but it's 5 minutes. I guess the limit is 5. So, hey, I'm new here, okay? All right. And then next Sunday is our puzzle exchange. And we ask you, if you're into puzzles, to please bring 2 puzzles or so, 1 or 2 puzzles, that you can leave here and then pick up 2 puzzles to bring home to then do them when you get to your house. Then today there are 2 things happening. The first one is that following the service, we're going to have the labyrinth. You can walk the labyrinth outside, and this might be a good time that once you've contemplated your word today, that you can then contemplate it there. And Aaron is going to mention the second thing for us a little bit later. So I'm wondering if I forget anything. I think I got it. Good. Okay, the next thing is before we stand up to greet each other, let's look at the chat prompt. So these are for the people online to contemplate while we're greeting each other. Do you like sharing your white stone word, or do you prefer to keep it private? Huh? Do you like sharing it, or do you like to keep it private? Anyway, let's all stand up and greet each other while the music plays.
Stay standing. As you are able, we're going to sing another song together. Many of you already know this. Some of you, though, are learning it for the first time. That's all right. The first part, my friend Joe Allen will do. The second part, Tim will do. Go, Joe Allen.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory.
Let's do that.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory.
Let's do it again. If you like the arms, do them.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory.
If you like harmonies, chuck them in.
I am as God created me, in the light, in the love, in the glory.
Part two, Tim.
In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory, I am.
Try it. Ready?
In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory, I am.
Do it twice more. Harmonies.
In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory, I am.
In the light.
In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory, I am.
All right, a bunch of you already know this. Hands up if you did already know this tune. If you didn't already know this tune, special prizes for those who didn't already know. Bless you. He's learning. See? He's changing and evolving. He's growing and learning things. All right, now it's time. Pick a side. We're at war. Pick a side. Sorry about that. That was too real. Dang. Joe Allen is going to lead that first part, I am. Tim will lead the second part, in the light and the love. Mix it up. Confuse yourself helps with the brain, right? And then we're going to switch. Whatever side you pick, we'll do the other. Okay.
In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory, I am.
Do that one again.
In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory. In the light, in the love, and the glory, I am.
Switch sides.
I am as God created me. In the light, in the light, in the love, and the glory, I am. I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, and the glory,
Everybody on part one.
I am as God created me.
In the light, in the love, in the glory.
Same thing. One last time.
I am as God created me. In the light, in the love, in the glory.
Lovely. Please be seated. This whole first part of the service is designed to shake out your body, waken your mind a little bit, get the blood flowing a little bit, so that as we move into more contemplative spaces, we're not just falling asleep. Today's service is Whitestone, and so the meditation that would normally start happening about here is put inside the talk, so we'll get a deeper meditation later from Reverend Diane. But we still want to hear from that other side of the brain, and we still want to begin settling the body. So the first step into that new kind of space comes through a reading, and today it's from the fabulous Marsha Rattan.
Good morning. I'm going to be reading a poem by a friend of mine, Wayne Lee, who was actually influential approximately 30 years ago in helping improve my writing. And he is currently a writing teacher and a really fine poet who lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Hi, Wayne, if you're watching. The title of this poem is This Year's Word. This year's word is abundance. The empty bucket gets filled, the hungry child gets fed. There is always more air, more light than darkness can cover with its hand. The silent hall hears singing. The quiet lake awakens to the call of loons. This year's wish is vision. There is always more sky than the eye can see. The crying man greets sunrise. The dying woman welcomes night. There is always more time. Next year's word is forever.
And here we'd usually move into a chant and meditation. Today we're going to move into a song from my friend LaVon Hardison, who many of you know. And throughout this year, I'm going to be taking a little time to reintroduce some of our favorite artists. These are local folks who may have been singing for us for years, but we take them for granted and we don't know things about them that we really should. One of the things we need to know about LaVon is that she's freaking awesome in every way. So you may know her as a jazz singer, you may know her as a church singer. She's incredibly multimodal. So she's also a poet, a songwriter, an instrumentalist, and she has a commitment and demonstrates a commitment to growth all the time that is so appropriate for Whitestone. Last year she started giving talks in churches as well. That kind of growth and risk-taking is a true inspiration for me. And we can support these kinds of artists in ways that we often forget to do. So she's got a Patreon, she's got a website. She's just started writing her own Substack as well. She's got local shows coming up, and you can see those in Tacoma and Olympia. You can see those on the website. But I encourage you, even if you think you know LaVon, to reopen, because you are reopening, and you are more than I think you are. So she's more than I think she is.
Like the pine tree lined in the winding road, I got a name, I got a name. Like the singing bird and a croaking toad, I got a name, I got a name. And I carry it with me like my daddy did, and I'm living the dream that he kept hid. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Like the north wind whistling down the sky, I got a song, I got a song. Like a whippoorwill or a baby's cry, I got a song, I've got a song. And I carry it with me and I sing it loud, and it gets me nowhere. I'll go there proud, moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. and I'm gonna go there free. Like the fool I am, and I'll always be. I got a dream. I got a dream. You can change your mind, but you won't change me. I got a dream. Oh, I got a dream. I know I could share it if you want me to. And if you're going my way, oh, let's do it together. We'll go 2 by 2. Rolling me down the highway. Rolling me down the highway. Moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Let's do that again. Come on, you know these words. Moving me down the highway, rolling me down the highway, moving ahead so life won't pass me by. Won't pass me by.
Will our Board of Trustees come forward? Before we begin this installation ceremony, I just want to say thank you for the many cards and the gifts and the love that I have received, especially over these last couple of weeks. And my heart is full, and thank you so much for everything. So stand all over here, so that you're kind of a part of the ceremony. So the Board of Trustees is standing here behind Diane as a visible sign of shared leadership and support as we begin this sacred ceremony. Together, we are here to bless a sacred tradition, and that is the installation of Reverend Diane Robertson as Senior Minister of Seattle Unity. In ministry, we don't simply accept a position, we enter a covenant. This is a holy calling, one that asks not only for voice and wisdom, but for heart, hands, presence, and the willingness to grow alongside the people that we serve. So today we're honoring that calling. Ministry is multifaceted. It includes prayer, worship, pastoral care, teaching, learning, leading sacred rituals, crafting programs, budgets, and seeing the good in others. It's about holding the high watch for the community and for the world. It's witnessing births and deaths, doubt and devotion, endings and new beginnings. So Diane, you are stepping into a living stream, one that's been flowing long before us and is going to continue long after. And you do not enter it alone. This community is with you, and the Spirit of God goes before you and makes your way clear. So I'm going to ask you 3 questions as you accept this role. Do you accept the sacred calling to serve as Senior Minister of Seattle Unity?
I do.
Will you hold this leadership with love, courage, faith, and humor?
I do.
Will you replenish your soul with self-care and healthy boundaries so that you may tend to others?
I do.
So we have a few tools of ministry, and the first is a stole. And I offer you this stole as a symbol of your call to spiritual leadership. So may it rest gently on your shoulders and deeply in your heart. And we're going to bless your hands with some sacred oil. And so we recognize that these hands are God's hands. And these are the hands with which you will tend to your community and to this world. These are the hands that will do the work of Spirit. And so may you be guided and may you be blessed as you lead this community in your care. And finally, the last. So may this light represent the spiritual light of this community. And may you hold it, not alone, but with others, as you tend to the flame. I pass it on to you. And now to our board. You are not simply stewards of an organization. You are stewards of a vision, guardians of the spiritual container in which this ministry unfolds. So will you commit to partnering with Diane in spiritual leadership, to listen deeply, speak truthfully, act ethically, and hold both the mission and vision with integrity and care? Will you support this ministry not only with your good governance, but with prayerful presence, mutual respect, and a willingness to grow alongside Reverend Diane and this community? We will. And now you guys get to commit. So please stand. So I'm asking each one of you here, will you support Reverend Diane with your prayers, presence, humor, and love? Yes. Will you seek the good in each other and serve when asked to serve? What? What? Maybe. Will you walk this path with Reverend Diane through celebration and challenge? And will you support this ministry with your time, talent, and treasure? Yes. All right, I'm going to hold you to that. So let's just have a prayer. May Reverend Diane Robertson walk in humility, courage, and joy. May the work of this community deepen and expand to become a beacon of light to Seattle and to the world. And may we remember that true ministry does not live only in the one who wears the stole, but in every heart that says yes to love. And so, Reverend Diane Robertson, on behalf of Unity Worldwide Ministries, I now officially install you as Senior Minister to Seattle Unity. We may be seated.
Thank you. Thank you. Gosh, now I'm expected to get up here and talk. In case you didn't realize before, I'm watery. And that's just a reflection of how full my heart is and the deep love and gratitude I have for Reverend Karen, for the board, for all of you, for being part of this community. And so I thank you for your trust in me to be the next senior minister of Seattle Unity. Thank you. And I also thank you for stepping forward with me as together we ask the question and we listen for what is next for Seattle Unity. We build upon an incredible legacy of all who have come before us. And we have this potential in this new year, in this new moment, to listen for what is ours. How are we wanting to show up and express in the world and as a community? And it's powerful. And I am especially thankful and excited that it is happening on this Sunday, our Whitestone Ritual Sunday, because it is one of my favorite services. And there's many reasons for it. I think ritual, although Unity doesn't have a lot, it really does put sort of feet on our prayers. There's something about taking a physical action, and we'll get into that later in the service, of listening for our white stone and then placing that somewhere where we can see it as a touchstone throughout the year. I also love the white stone because it is so full of potential, right? It has the energy of hope that sort of encapsulates the energy of a new year, a new beginning. And so to be able to start on this kind of next trek in our journey together as a spiritual community, I love that it is part of this White Stone Sunday. Last week, we had our Burning Bowl service, one of the other rituals that I love, where we released and let go of that which has served a purpose, but to make room for what is next in our lives individually and collectively. And next Sunday, I will share more about the annual theme for 2026. And just know that in January, we are in the energy of intentions and vision, with hope to lead the way, which is so needed, especially at this time. Before getting further into the service, because we are going to have our white stone ritual later on, I want to ask everyone that is online to find, if you don't have a stone or a rock, maybe even a piece of paper or a card that you will be able to write your white stone word on. And I know being online sometimes it can feel a little bit passive. And so I want to actually call out that you are here with us as well, that in spirit there is no distance, there is no time, and there's something about physically doing this white stone ritual with us that's very powerful. And I'm going to ask, is there anyone in the room that didn't happen to receive a white stone and a pencil when you came in? And if so, our ushers are going to bring that around. So if you can just keep your hands up for a little while so that you can get a white stone and a pencil so we can make sure that everyone has that before we get further along. And so there's a couple over on this side as well. Thank you, Scott. Yep. Yeah. All right, taking care of all the housekeeping details. Great. So leading up to this time of stepping into this sacred service of being the senior minister of Seattle Unity, I, of course, have been reflecting a lot on my journey personally and what it means to be part of a spiritual community. And I think back to this really, really clear thought I had as a child. I'm going to be a minister. Yes, as a child, a young child, that was such a clear thought for me. Without necessarily knowing how it was going to unfold or the steps between there and here and anything in between. But I had that thought that became this sort of embodied living intention. And then I think about the steps along the way, serving as a minister's assistant at San Leandro Unity for Reverend Charlotte Brown, who was a kick. And moving here in 1997 and to go to UW, to go to grad school, but somehow entering into this community and volunteering in a number of different roles. As a prayer chaplain and platform assistant, leading classes, serving on the finance team and the board, and then joining the staff in 2014 and wearing many different hats, all a step, building this really strong foundation. And in February, it'll be 12 years on the staff. And so many different iterations to then reach this moment. And I think one of the gifts of spiritual community, it's interesting, it's kind of expanded for me over time. It's always sort of been present, but I have to say I'm an introvert, so I'm just as happy being in my living room alone. but I actually love people. I know, it seems like a contradiction, but they both are true. And so in spiritual community, we get to come together, we get to support one another in the celebrations like we did on New Year's Eve. I know many were here. We were dancing the night away, celebrating Reverend Karen. Could almost see fireworks through the fog. And we also are here to support one another in the challenges, the individual challenges and the collective challenges that are invariably part of our human journey. And that is the strength of spiritual community. We are so much stronger together. And yes, we can follow spiritual practices at home, which hopefully you all are. And we can do that in our own quiet and private ways. But there's also real power in coming together in spiritual community, to join together in spiritual practices, and to be present fully for one another as our authentic selves in a safe space. So I could not have mapped out what my path would look like from that young child saying, I'm going to be a minister, to this moment, but somehow it unfolded in this divine timing, this divine order. It was truly this divine unfolding. And I think that is also why I love that we are kind of entering into our White Stone ritual together this morning. Because I think of the White Stone ritual as very much the same. We listen for a word, and it's a divine quality, an attribute that's a part of ourself. It's already present, and we want to call that out more fully into our lives and into the world. And we really don't know what it's going to look like throughout the year. We don't really know how it's going to show up for us. We are planting that seed of intention, and we're kind of putting it out there, and then we open to the wisdom of our souls. We open to Spirit to see how it can unfold. And I think in that openness is the best, because then we don't limit the miraculous ways that it can unfold for us. And hopefully, maybe even be surprised. Intertwined with our White Stone word is this idea of hope. And I'm not sure, within the last few days, there was an article in the New York Times and a contributing writer that wrote about hope. And she was citing recent research in the US that shows that cynicism is on the rise. And I don't think somehow many people here will be surprised by that. But she pointed out that that's a really dangerous trend. It's a dangerous trend individually and collectively, and hope is this antidote. It's not a fix-all, but what it is it's a bridge, right? It's a bridge between where we are in this moment in the potential for something different to unfold and to manifest, again, in our lives and also collectively. And she cited some research by Chan Hellman, who's the director of the Hope Research Center. I'd love to work there as well, at the University of Oklahoma. And he made this kind of distinction between optimism and hope. He said, optimism is the belief that the future will be better. Hope is the belief that we have the power to make it so. Right? There's energy behind that. Hope is knowing that we can make a better future. Hope is also one of the strongest predictors of health, which probably isn't a surprise. People's immune systems are better. They have greater well-being. She even cited a research study that showed children that have more hope seem to grow taller. So apparently I had extra doses of hope as a child. I grew up in Unity, so of course I had lots of hope. And look what happened. I'm 6'1". In John 1:1, which actually John is my favorite gospel, we hear, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And so when we are listening for the word that is calling to us in this year with our White Stone ritual, we are listening for that divine idea, that divine quality that wants to express through you and as you in 2026. And John 1:1 is really an echo of Genesis 1. In the beginning, right, God created. And those that know that story in Genesis 1 know that it was created out of the formless, out of the void, right? And so in Unity, we talk about that everything begins as a thought, as a word. It begins in consciousness. Everything that you see, hear, everything you can touch, first was an idea, a divine idea. And it was grabbed hold of by a human that had to bring it here onto earth. Kind of a legend in Unity and New Thought circles, author Emily Cady, she said it this way: thought and the spoken word stand between the invisible and the visible. Thought and the spoken word stand between the invisible, the formless, and the visible, the formed, the manifest. By the action of the two, thought and the spoken word, is the invisible made visible. And we are all part of that. Things do not happen here in the manifest realm without all of us. We are the very activity of Spirit, the very activity of God in action. And so when we are listening for our Whitestone word, we are listening for how we are called to show up and express in the coming year. And so what is held as potential within you in this moment, at this point? Just waiting to burst through. I want to take a moment and distinguish what we listen for and put down as our Whitestone word and what a goal is, because, you know, we're in the new year and many people are thinking about goals. And so our Whitestone word is different than a goal. A goal is really quite often that outer kind of task-oriented, something we want to achieve or do, and it might be around health or finances or relationships. To me, the Whitestone word is really something that sits behind the goal. It is the foundation that's underneath the goal. It's a divine idea, divine quality that really infuses every aspect of our life, our health, our relationships, the ways that we give and serve in the world. And so when we're listening for our Whitestone word, we're listening from a deeper place to the wisdom of our soul, the wisdom of Spirit, wanting to shine through. Shortly, I will be kind of leading us in a guided meditation that begins with listening. And I always say this, but I'm going to repeat it for those that maybe weren't here or forgot from last year, is even if you came with a word, I'm going to invite you to set it aside and allow that spaciousness to be, right? To allow a little room for God, for Spirit to kind of shine through. You might be surprised at what shows up. The nature of a Whitestone word is that it comes from a deeper place of listening. And because of that, we don't necessarily know how it's going to unfold throughout the year. That's part of the gift, the surprise, is to be open how it's going to unfold for us. And I always love to hear what people's Whitestone word is. And I know some people like to keep it more quiet towards the beginning of the year, and that was the prompt question, the chat prompt. But I had asked Stephanie Oliver, who usually joins us online. Her husband, Reggie, usually sits somewhere over there. He's in the back there. You can usually see him down on the labyrinth before the service in the morning. And they, by the way, Reggie and Stephanie just celebrated their 46th anniversary recently. And Stephanie, by the way, was a VP of publishing at Unity Village for a number of years. So, little known fact. Amazing woman. So I asked Stephanie Oliver, I said, what was your Whitestone word in 2025? And she said, fortitude. She said, after experiencing challenges and miracles of breast cancer treatment for the past 8 years and caregiving my 101 years young mother, the word fortitude felt like spiritual armor and boded me well. I was also heartened to discover that was the current theme for the sorority of 3 generations of my family, Delta Sigma Theta. She said, by July, I was feeling renewed strength, and I wrote in my Whitestone notes this affirmation: fortitude. Keep your stress down and your chin up. She said she shared this in a conversation on the phone with a friend, and her friend thought she said, keep your stress down and your zen up. So I think I'm going to kind of adopt that as one of my new affirmations. Tim Carlson, one of our community members, usually sits over here. Yeah, you all have regular seats. Do you know that? You are aware of that, right? I can almost point to where every person's seat is. You'd think there were names on it. But Tim Carlson shared his Whitestone word for 2025 is confidence. And he shared that it was because primarily he was experiencing a lack of confidence, especially around doing certain things physically. Because as he aged, he was finding it harder to do. He said, I was facing the probable need to discontinue alpine skiing since my loss of sufficient balance was making the activity potentially dangerous. This was a very difficult reality to face, since skiing has been my favorite winter activity for over 50 years. The insight that I gained, however, was that I didn't need to focus on having confidence to ski, but rather the confidence that I could replace skiing with other activities that could be equally satisfying. I'm happy to say that the greatest activities have been my increasing involvement in Seattle Unity. And no, I did not pay him to write that, I promise. He said that all on his own. You can go and ask him later and verify. My Whitestone word for 2025 was vision. And interestingly, when you think of vision, you think of seeing, but for me, it was actually more about hearing and creating more space for listening, that deeper listening that I've been talking about, of kind of deepening my connection to God, to spirit, to the wisdom of my soul, kind of knowing what was coming in 2026. It's also been about clearing away and letting go and creating some space, especially around responsibilities here. And I just have to thank the staff for all of the ways that the staff and the board are showing up as we have been moving through this transition and change of leadership. I think this points to the idea that people can have the same Whitestone word, but it shows up very differently, right? Because it's so much about your own unique journey. So two people could have faith as their Whitestone word, but it's definitely going to show up differently for you. There might be some overlap, but it's very much about our own unique journey. And so we're going to move now into a guided meditation. And so those in the room and those online, I just invite you to have your Whitestone, and for those online, something to write with. And just getting comfortable in the seat where you are, feeling the chair fully supporting you. Just moving our attention from outer to inner. Maybe noticing our breath as a way to ground and center. Feeling our feet on the ground, knowing that they are anchored down energetically, connected to the earth, fully supported by Mother Earth, by Gaia. Aware of that one presence, that one power that is always here. And just opening to your inner wisdom, the wisdom of your soul, divine guidance and wisdom of spirit, God, the universe, whatever name is right for you. And even if you had a word in mind, just gently setting that aside, just for now. And just creating an open space. And if it's helpful, you might imagine a path going out before you, maybe through trees in the woods. It's curving out around the bend a little ways down. Or maybe it's a big open field of freshly fallen snow with not a single print or anything on the snow. Or perhaps it's a long stretch of sandy beach with no mark, freshly washed clean by the tides. And so as we turn and look towards this new year, 2026, what is a divine quality or attribute, some aspect represented by a word that is calling to you, ready to express through you and as you? What is that one divine idea? And if there's several kind of coming to the surface, maybe just taking a breath and seeing if there's one that's perhaps a little bit brighter, or you feel just a little bit more drawn to. Maybe you feel just a bit more energy around it. And so we're just going to pause in the silence for a few moments as each one is listening deeply in the quiet. And so if you have a word, I invite you to open your eyes and write that word on your white stone. And if you don't have a word yet or haven't settled on one, that's okay too. I invite you to take your stone home and trust that the right white words will come to you throughout the day or the week. And so just coming back to this space, and if you know what your word is, writing that on your stone. And if you're not quite sure yet, that's fine too. You can take it home with you and have some quiet time later. It may surface later on. And so I invite you to take your white stone home. And there's different approaches. Some people, they place it on an altar or someplace visible. Truly is that touchstone day to day as a reminder, something that we are awakening consciously. Others like to hide it away, like squirrels hiding something away, and then look at it halfway through the year or the end of the year and be surprised and reflect on how it's unfolded over the course of the year. There's no right way, and so whatever feels right to you, I encourage you to follow that. So my blessing for you and for all of us is to truly know that whatever you have written down is this beautiful potential that is ready to burst through, this divine idea that is ready to shine through you and as you. And so my prayer is that we hold this together for one another in the energy of this new year and fresh beginnings, and hope. Hope for the potentials that will unfold, that are life-giving, life-affirming, and truly living into the light. Blessings to you. Amen. So as our ushers are coming forward, we come now to that time to give of our offerings and our tithes. So if you give
Electronically, you can text to give 206-350-8448 or via our website. If you're here in the room, there's also on the cards on the back of the chair a little QR code. So join me first in blessing our offering. Together, I give willingly, joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since we've been here. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here we come. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun. I say it's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright.
Levon Hardison.
All right, so let's put a final blessing on our offering, and then we will say our prayers. So I invite you to, I want to grab my stone again. As we join together, we dedicate and consecrate these gifts to the will, the work, and the way of the living Spirit of truth, and may they return to each giver 100-fold. So we also then move to your heart. I invite you to move to your heart as we begin with our blessings. So we hold Scott in our prayers, Caridad, M.O., Jim, the Oliver family, Tony, and we want to hold a specific blessing for Juanita, who made her transition recently. So we hold her in the light as she moves on in life, and we hold her family as they grieve. We hold our in our prayers Grandfather Otter for prosperity, for Donna and Marcia for healing and loving energy, for Joseph, who has a successful operation and a quick healing, for Judy, for love and support, for Dan, for that spirit going before him. And we didn't get any prayers from the online community, but know that we hold all of you in our prayers. Tom and Judy and Louise, Gary and Lynn, Sabina and Faith. And I'd like you, as we close, just to take your stone and hold it to your heart. And as we hold this stone, as we hold the people that we love, I invite you to speak the names of those who need prayer right now. The people in Switzerland, Venezuela, and again, focusing on your stone and just seeing that spirit going before you and making your way clear as we join together in our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. That's the truth.
Let's sing a closing song together as you're standing up. If you want to hold hands, you can, but you don't have to. It's unity. You don't have to do nothing. The thing that Eric was talking about before, after the service today, I want to actually, for the whole year, I want to especially advocate for going upstairs for fellowship after the service. So our services are not the 2-hour Sunday services. It's just an hour, but I don't want you to go home right after that unless you really have to, because a lot of the real power and grounding in these principles comes from sharing with other people for a lot of folks. If you're an introvert and you're like, no, thank you, bye-bye. Bless you, I'm just grateful you're here. But if you're willing to come upstairs for a fellowship, I encourage you to try it out. Some people have never been on the 3rd floor of this building. It's really great up there. So today I'm going to go up, and probably once a month or so I'm going to be upstairs. And if you want to give me input about worship arts, music, that sort of stuff, I'm always open to that kind of thing. For today, I'm doing a little thing where if you are a person who shares your White Stone word, come and tell me. Because I'm going to write down, not you specifically, but the words, and that impacts how I create music for the next services. So if you feel like it's something you can share, and it's not like a, if I tell you, it won't come true thing. Hey, that's legit. Do your own voodoo, baby. You do it. But if you are a sharer, come and tell me your word, and meet another person. There are a lot of people here on White Stone who might not come at any other time during the year, and that interaction is very healthy, again, for the brain and the body, all of the things. Let's sing. What are we singing? Amen.
Hard lyrics.
Amen.